find some way to win. And this time they're doing it through their defense.
Right, exactly. Yeah, the thing with their defense is that, interesting that Bill Belichick's son, Steve Belichick, who's probably in his 20s, I don't know if he can even shave yet, he's calling the plays, which just came out. So Belichick's running that defense.
Yep.
I mean, that's very impressive and very scary for the rest of the NFL.
Yep. And I mean, Patriots are never a surprising team to go undefeated. But another team that has been really surprising and still undefeated is the San Francisco 49ers. They're just getting it together all together. The defense looks good, but I'm not even sure how they're putting it together in the offense, but they are. Garoppolo looks good. The receivers have a little
Is that a double entendre? That Garoppolo looks good?
Yes, it is a good catch. Good catch. He looks good in many ways.
Speaking of good catches, great trade that they made for Emmanuel Sanders, who's made an instant impact.
Instant, yes, absolutely.
Oh, meanwhile, we're burying the lead here in San Francisco. How about Nick Bosa?
I know, he's been looking amazing as a defensive player. He's a rookie, but he's looking great, and he's kind of carrying that defense.
Oh, exactly. Yeah, he's in the running for Defensive Player of the Year. Meanwhile, he was a former Trump supporter, white supremacist supporter. Now he's being accepted by Richard Sherman and the rest of liberal San Francisco. Look, things change when you can sack the quarterback over there.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, some other teams that have been really surprising besides the 49ers are the Green Bay Packers. Aaron Rodgers, a lot of people doubted whether he was going to regress a little bit this year, and he's actually shown that he is one of the top quarterbacks and he's here to stay.
Right. If you tuned into our SportsConvo preview of the NFL season, we discussed our concerns about the young receiving corps. But Aaron Rodgers, when you have number 12 back there, he can get you guys in the playoffs. So he's performed well. I think, in my opinion, he's the early front runner for the MVP.
Oh, really? Well, another Aaron on that team that's doing really well is Aaron Jones. That running back, a lot of people doubted him as well, and they're splitting carries with Jamal Williams, but he's had some really great games where he's shown.
We met that young man in Atlanta at the Super Bowl. Very nice young man. Meanwhile, interesting tidbit this time, his mom is a Redskin fan.
Oh.
Roots for the Redskins, even though her son plays for the Green Bay Packers.
Those must be some tense Sundays in that household.
She's very strongly a Redskin fan.
Well, that's one of the disappointing teams. We'll get to those later.
Yes,
another team that is quite a surprise is this guy's team, the Colts, the Indianapolis Colts. They've been looking good. I mean, they lost Andrew Luck, but they're still...
I'm sorry, Andrew who?
Luck?
I'm just kidding. Yes, but right, losing Andrew Luck, you figured we were going to tank and play for a #1 pick, but Jacoby Brissett has come on strong. Meanwhile, the real MVPs of that team are Jacoby Brissett and my guess for the Coach of the Year, Frank Reich, who has been a great offensive play caller this year. And like I said, the maniac on defense, Darius Leonard, has played great.
Yeah, so they've been a surprise. I mean, they still have a long season to go,
exactly,
but so far they've been a surprising team.
Right.
So now we come to the disappointing teams, and as we said, the Redskins have been disappointing.
The Redskins are a broken record. Basically, them, the Jets, certain teams in the NFL, it starts from, there's an expression in the mafia from what I hear, the fish stinks from the head down. And that's the problem with the Redskins, the Jets. Horrible organizations are going to be horrible continuously, and that's the problem with the Redskins. It starts at the top. They're going to be bad the whole way. So I don't see any upside for the Redskins. They keep putting Band-Aids on their problems all year. Haskins will struggle. They have nothing on that team. When you're relying on Adrian Peterson...
Wow, pretty harsh words. So you think they're going to be the lowest of the low?
When the Redskins are the worst run thing in DC, that's a problem.
Oh, we're really like attacking DC, not literally.
Yeah. We like the city. It's a capital. It's fine.
So another team, as my partner mentioned, is the Jets. They can't get it together. They have injuries. They have Le'Veon Bell, who's amazing, but he's not able to get the ball and do anything with it. He hasn't scored a touchdown yet. Is today his day? Hopefully.
Here's the problem with Le'Veon Bell. He's more focused on his rap career, which also, like the Jets season, is horrible. But the Jets basically, the team name stands for just end the season, and you can't do it early enough. They are horrible. Same thing. The fish stinks from the head down. It's a horrible organization. Christopher Johnson. By the way, my boy Peyton Manning put them in this mess. He convinced ownership to hire Adam Gase. Adam Gase has to be the worst coach in the NFL. How do you suck in Miami and then instantly get a job with the Jets? Only the Jets. Only the Jets.
But don't you think that they have a pretty comfy season coming up, and maybe they'll get some wins because of the season that the opponents that they're going to be playing?
I do not think so.
No? All right.
They're going to beat Miami today, but they're in for a long season. Meanwhile, I'd like to point out, if you tuned into our preview earlier in the season, we predicted that the Bears, much like Chi-Town native Kanye West's album, would be trash. And they are. Both things. I have not paid attention to either because they both suck.
I guess the Bears did not like what
This
you
guy
said.
has never disappointed, by the way. Sweet feet right here.
Well, we'll see what happens. Only half the season is over. Anything can happen in football, so we'll see.
Well, much like them, their season should be over. I'm so glad that the Colts didn't hire Matt Nagy to be their head coach. He's supposed to be an offensive mind. I don't know if it's him or Trubisky, but that team is straight trash.
Straight trash. You heard it here first at the Sports Convo.
Also, don't buy the Kanye West album.
So I think the final team we want to talk about that's been really disappointing and who was maybe even hyped up to win the Super Bowl is the Cleveland Browns.
So, exactly. I personally picked them to win the AFC North. I'm a little worried about that, but they have been pretty bad. I think Freddie Kitchens has gotten a rough initiation as far as being a head coach. But unlike the Jets, where both seasons pick up as far as strength of schedule, I do think the Browns can get back in it starting this week. So I think that they can make a run. I'm not too trusting of Baltimore. I don't know if they can keep this up. I think they're going to lose to New England tonight, and I think the Browns are going to come out on top.
You do?
I still have faith in Baker. I'm a Baker backer.
You're a Baker backer. Well, I think that he does have the weapons. He has Nick Chubb as well. He's going to get Kareem Hunt back. I don't know if he's going to make a difference or not, but you have two strong backs. You have a lot of receivers to throw to, so they do have the weapons there. We'll see if they can get it done.
Wow, Sports Convo talk with Chubb and Titays. Interesting day here at the Sports Convo.
Connection there, Stan.
Yeah, exactly. But those are our disappointing teams. Early MVP right now, Kavita, for you?
For me,
Deshaun Watson. Was that might have been a studio member of the audience? Studio audience member? So Kavita, who's in the running for MVP for you this year?
Oh, you know what? That's a good question. I think, we talked about the 49ers going undefeated this season, and I'd have to say Jimmy Garoppolo. He wasn't there with the 49ers last year. He was injured. Now he's back, and they're winning. So maybe he is the key to their success. And speaking of double entendres, as we were speaking of before, he's not only the most valuable player, he's also the most visibly pleasing.
Keeping your pants on that. I think he's more interested in the most valuable porn stars, in my opinion.
Well, he's MVP in lots of ways then.
I guess he is. I got A-Rod in Green Bay. I think the team goes as Aaron Rodgers goes, and I think he is the clear leader for the MVP. I think he is just putting on one of those highlight seasons, and he, in my opinion, right now is the front runner for the MVP.
All right, very interesting.
But meanwhile, being a Titans fan, do you love football?
I do. I still love football. No matter if they're winning or losing, I am a fan that keeps watching, even if I'm being tortured.
It must be a Southern thing.
It must be a Southern thing. But tune in again next week for another episode, and thank you for watching.